Hi folks, my name is Jason and this is my vlog called Living with CMT. I hope you enjoy. Good evening folks, it is Friday night and it's 5 to 6 and I'm going to do this how I wanted to do it. This is a party political broadcast on behalf of the sensible people. This is an invitation to the stupid people to listen. We are in the middle of the worst crisis that I've seen in my entire life, to be perfectly honest with you. I've never seen nothing like this. And how can I put this in layman's terms? Because you obviously don't listen to the politicians. You don't take no notice of them. You don't care what they think. As a normal person, a sensible person, these are the two facts. There is a virus spreading through the world that is killing people at a rate of knots. The way to stop the virus is to try and self-isolate and to social distance. This does not mean meeting up at your friends' houses with your family. This does not mean going down the beach because you think it's safe down there to take 5 or 6 other people with you and have a party. Use your common sense. I'll give you an example. I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to drop myself in it, but in my street there is a family. That family consists of, I think, 4 people. Today there were 9 people there. The adults were wearing masks. The children were not wearing masks. And they were running up and down the street. And one of them had a bad cough, a real bad cough. When are you going to realise that this is not something to be played about with? This is a virus. It is a serious thing. You don't think the government would lock us down and put all these quarantine things on us for nothing, do you? Do you think they actually like doing it? Do you think they like telling us that we can't go shopping because the food is being gobbled up by greedy people who just want to look after their own interests? Or people who want to make a profit from other people's misery? Do you honestly think that's what it's for? Because I don't. I believe the government was slow on reacting. Yes, I do. That's definitely true. They were very slow on reacting. But now they have got us to a stage where we need to basically listen to what they're saying. We need to stay indoors. We need to self-isolate. We need to social distance and not be idiots. And we also need to only buy what we need. Not 14 ton of food that we're going to stock up until Christmas. Because you doing that means that people aren't getting the food that they need. And you are basically starving people. And I think what will happen if we carry on is the army will end up being called in. And when the army get called in, then the rules will be 50 times worse. Because at the moment, police can come up to you and they can stop you and make you go home if you're in groups of 3. Fair enough, I can understand that. But there's people turning round and spitting in the police faces. Turning round and telling them to F off and go watch it themselves. Try doing that to the army. When you've got a soldier standing in front of you in army uniform and he tells you to go home because you've got to go home, let's see how many people spit in his face or her face. Let's see how you react then. Because I tell you what, I wouldn't defy anybody over this coronavirus. I don't want to stay in all the time. I don't want to not walk around my local shop and get some groceries. But I can't, you see, because I'm kind of vulnerable, if you like, because of my medical conditions that I've got. And Deb isn't even going out, because she's worried that if she catches it, she'll pass it on to me. And I'm more worried, to be honest with you, that if I've got it, I might pass it on to other people. If I've got it, then, you know, if I get ill from it, then there's not really much I can do, but I'm certainly not going to risk passing it on to other people. So this party political broadcast goes out to all those idiots, because there's hundreds of them. On a lighter note, this is also to say thank you to all those people who've had to carry on. And that's everybody from the cleaners that are still doing the jobs, to the NHS staff, to the fire and to the fire brigade, to the police, the army. They're all carrying on. All we've got to do is two things. Stay at home, and don't spread the virus. And if you can't do that, if you think that you cannot manage to stay at home, you've got serious problems. You know, we're not expecting to be bombed. This isn't the war where you think if you stay in your house, you know, your house could get bombed any minute. The safest place for you to be is at home. And that's where I'm staying. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to become one of the statistics, one of the idiots. When this is all blown over and everything goes back to normal, me and my family that I know can hold their heads up and say, we did what was required. How many people out there won't? Because they didn't do what was required. They thought that by, you know, when they say that you're under quarantine and self-isolation, you can get your family to come round with the kids. What's that all about? That isn't self-isolation. If that was the case, I could go up visit my mum. Now, my mum doesn't even know how to Skype. Now, she only lives less than 2 miles away from me, but I probably won't see her for another 2 or 3 months. You know, but I will speak to her every day on the phone, because I know that if I go up there, even if it's for my own selfish reasons, I could pass it on to her. I could pass it on to the entire set of people in the flats. Do the sensible thing, you know, and don't try and, you know, make out that you won't get it. People are dying every single day from this condition. And they're not just old people now. Younger people are dying from it, whose bodies haven't been able to fight the virus. So don't think that because you're 18, 19 or whatever, that you're magically invincible to it, or you're some kind of superhero. This virus will show you you are not. Sorry, that's something that's been getting on my nerves since the start of this. People not listening. It's like being at school. You know when you get told off at school, and if you get told off too many times, you get detention. That's what should happen. And all these fines that the police are handing out, if they carry on handing these fines out, I tell you something, by the time this is all over, the government will be able to keep going for the next 10 years just off the fines. Do you honestly think those people who are in the NHS and all those frontline people are doing their job just so that you can put it all on the line every time you want to nip around your mates? A woman posted a video the other day on Facebook. I didn't actually see it, but I was told about it, and it shows her filming her daughter, who was a teenager. And her daughter was insisting that her mum open the door so she could go with her friends, and her mum said, no, I'm not. I'm not opening the front door. You are not going out of this house. And this girl was having a paddy, and this woman was saying, can you see how spoilt brat this girl is? Because they think it doesn't apply to them. They think that the only people who can get it are elderly and disabled people. You wish. I'll tell you something about this virus. It doesn't care whether you're black, white, gay, straight. It doesn't care if you're young, old. If it wants to get you, mate, it will get you. And rich or poor, that doesn't matter either. You know, you could have £1 billion in the bank and still get the virus. You could still die from the virus. So, you know, use your loaf. For God's sake. I feel like it's just weird. Because I thought that people were sensible. And bear in mind, the majority of them are. Don't get me wrong. The majority of people are really sensible. They stay at home. They do what they're told and everything. But then you'll get the one saying, I'm not being told what to do by the government. But you aren't the one you're putting at risk. You're putting hundreds of people at risk who don't want to be at risk. These people doing stupid things like licking the toilet seats and licking shelves in supermarkets. I'm sorry, but you need locking up. And I would actually put you all in a mental home. One woman who actually got caught doing this is a YouTuber. I don't know her, I don't know who she is, so I'm not going to name any names because I don't know who she is. And when she was asked why she did it, do you know what her excuse was? Because COVID-19 was getting more attention than her. And she didn't like it. She said, I'm the famous one, not this coronavirus. So basically, because coronavirus was getting more views than her, she got jealous. She got jealous of a disease, of a virus, of a condition that's killing people. I've got a YouTube channel that's got 600 subscribers now. But I'd lay that all on the line if they could get a cure tomorrow. I'd lose every one of my subscribers, mate, if they told me that would cause a cure for tomorrow. I don't give a stuff about getting bloody views. If the coronavirus is getting more bloody screen time than me, so be it. This is what I mean. This is the mentality of the people that are coming into this world. You know, people are doing stupid things. People are having barbecues. You know, it's just beyond me. I don't understand where the brain cells are at all. I don't. I just get completely confused by it every day. I start thinking to myself, am I in the middle of a novel? Am I actually dreaming all this? And I will click my fingers, wake up to find out that everybody is as sensible as I thought they were. I bet there's people who are in psychiatric wards who've got more sense than some of the people on the streets nowadays. I'll tell you that now. Some of them, I bet if they thought, you know, oh no, I'm not going to catch a virus, I'm staying in here. But no, we've got the chance to stay indoors and stay away from it. And we want to go out and expose ourselves to it and pass it on to other people. Whereas the poor workers, the NHS and all the other workers, no matter from the care workers, like I said, cleaners, the lot, all those that have had to carry on, they're putting their lives on the line to keep the country going. The least you can do is pay them some respect. I mean, last night at 8 o'clock, we went outside and about 6 or 7 families in our street stood outside and clapped. And we clapped for a good 5 minutes. And we kept it going. And it brought my wife to tears because she was really, really moved that people were bothered about the staff and everything. It really did, you know, get to it emotionally. And then when you see the very next day that one of those people that were in the street clapping have now got visited by like 9 people, you can't believe it. You think, hang on a minute, you know, what the bloody hell? I mean, I would love to go up and see my mum. I would love it for my sister to come down with her husband and have a cup of tea down here because she only lives about 1.5 miles away. But they know to stay away. If they bring anything to us, they put it on the doorstep, they knock on the door, they go get back in the car, they wait for me to answer the door and then they drive off. They're not trying to be, you know, in my face and trying to get every single movement out of me that they can. They know what we're doing is for the good of everybody. Not just for me. I'm not doing it for me. Blooming heck. If I thought all it was me keeping away from the virus, fair enough. But I don't even know if I've got it. I might have it and pass it on to 50 people, 100 people. You baffle me. You really do baffle me. If you can think of a reason why people would do something so stupid, please leave a comment because I haven't got a clue what it is. I haven't got a clue. You know, I've spoke to family all over the place and I've spoke to friends on the internet, on Facebook, and they're all self-isolating unless they can't. Unless they're a key worker. You know, they're not choosing to go out there and put the bloody self-exposed to this condition, but they've got no choice. It's just mad. It really is. Excuse me. This is water, I promise. But when is this country going to wake up? And how many more people have got to die before people start taking it seriously? I think he'll end up bringing the army in. I really do. And I don't blame him. In fact, there's news today that Boris Johnson has tested positive for the coronavirus. So despite all his attempts to try and get the country safe, he's caught it himself. And you really feel for him because nobody has had to go through this. You can't call on another Prime Minister and say, how did you cope with the last one? Because there hasn't been one. So there's no precedent for it at all. You know, the closest you've got is during the war. And if we end up with ration books, then so be it. I'd love to see some of the people on Facebook and all over this country survive on rations. I mean, I don't eat a lot anyway, to be honest with you. I don't. I'm quite happy with just one meal a day, one proper meal a day. And obviously I have my probiotic drink and my breakfast bar in the morning for my health. But I don't mind not having 3 square meals a day. I never really wanted that. But some people have 3 square meals a day. And snacks as well. And could you see them surviving on rations? I can't. Anyway, that's me on my soapbox again. Sorry about that, folks. But that is a party political broadcast on behalf of the sensible people. And it's finished now. And I am now going to read out a couple more poems. Love them or hate them, it's up to you. Oh, just before I go, I will say one thing. I did a video log for my wife, a vlog, and a poem. and I was really happy with the response I've got from it. It's had a lot of views and a few comments, and I'm thinking of doing something like that on a weekly basis. Let me know if you think it's a good idea, where I can do basically, I can get a poem, transfer it onto video basically, and have the words coming on the screen, but have lots of images to go with the poem as well. No audio, no, as in I won't read the poem out. The words will appear on the screen for you to read, and it will have piano music or some sort of music in the background. Tell me what you think. Deb thinks it's a wonderful idea because it was her idea in the first place, and I don't think it's a bad idea. Excuse me, my back's hurting. That's old age. Anyway, I'm going to read out 2 new poems now. Well, not new poems, but you won't have heard of them. Right, first poem is basically just about continuing, and it's called I Push On. I have ridden some tricky situations. I have played with fire. My life's not a straightforward story. I have dreams to which I aspire. My shoes have walked a distance. There is a story about my past. I push on with my life though. It's just a line I cast. I've taught words of wisdom. I've also spoke like a fool. I've dreamed of better things, and I've broken lots of rules. Walking down these roads has taught me that nothing is meant to last. I could talk about my yesterdays, but my yesterdays are in my past. I push on to fight another day. I breathe in the morning air. I see the sky and the clouds above. They rid me of despair. I smile as I turn my coat up. The wind chill bites at my face. I wonder where today will lead. I smile and start my race. And that one is called I Push On. Now, I wrote this poem because a while ago I was reading quite a few stories about people who had taken their own lives, and it's because they had no one to turn to, no one they could talk to. I'm lucky because I have got people. I've got friends, I've got family, I've got a lovely wife, so I've always got somebody I can talk to and I can unburden myself. Not everybody is so fortunate. And I wrote this, and it's called Talk to Me. Why did you walk with me? If you had said the words, why didn't you talk to me? It would not have been absurd. Why couldn't you come to me? I would have listened and heard. Then we could both be free. Then you could have flown like a bird. But you didn't. All the times you were drinking, I could not see through your disguise. Why didn't you tell me what you were thinking? You kept it hidden in your eyes. Why, when our arms were linking, years passed and how time flies, could you not tell me you were sinking? I got older, but not so wise. Why? So I stand here by this grave. You always were the one to smile. Don't know how I can behave. You made me feel life's worthwhile. If I had a chance I would save. I wish we could reconcile. The precious life that you gave, more soil added to the pile. My friend, I know now that you put on a face. You hid it because you were ashamed. You heard voices, life was out of place. You searched, but yourself you blamed. They found you alone, it was such a disgrace. I should have been there to help with the game. Now you fade out without leaving a trace. Life will never be the same. And that's the second poem. And that's the end of my vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I had a bit of a rant earlier, but this helps me to get things off my chest. And it's also interesting to see other people's reaction, because I want people to react. I want people to write things underneath my vlogs to let me know how they felt after seeing the vlog. You know, whether it made them feel good, bad, whether they were thinking, yes, I can see where he's coming from, or even if you disagree with me, leave me a comment. Any comments appreciated, except abuse. I don't really do for abuse. Anyway, you all take care, and I'll do another vlog soon. Bye for now. Well folks, I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and if you did and you want to subscribe to my channel, you just have to click there. And if you want to see what I did in my previous vlog, it's up there. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's there. Bye for now.